It is what it is. The dispute led to Hakim Ziyech retiring from international football February this year as a result of that public, fallout last year between both men. And I think that the last straw that broke the camel's back for Vahid, it has to be the fact that the Moroccan Football Association president, single-handedly included Ziyech into the World Cup squad, and that just brought about, the dispute and he leaving the position. Well, we wish them the best. Let's move away from there now and talk about European football and talk about the Premier League. The biggest match of the Premier League weekend, match day 2, has to be Chelsea against Spurs right there at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea against Spurs. For both teams, they started well. They won their openers. Maybe Spurs more convincingly. Chelsea, it was a grind and a struggle against Everton. But looking at it now at Stamford Bridge, rather, how do you think this will pan out?
It's a very tricky game because you have to consider the kind of rivalry between the two teams.
Exactly,
because
it's a London derby.
There have been times where one team is in form and the team that is not in form actually beats. So it's like that for the two teams. I think it's going to be very difficult for Tottenham coming into Stamford Bridge and beating them, because I think they have not been able to do that for a while.
Okay.
So I look at it as a draw, because Chelsea has a very good, probably the most experienced defense in the Premier League as at now.
Yes.
That I'll see have the most experienced defense. Though their attack is not as good as it should be.
Yes.
Yes, and Tottenham has developed to have probably, I would say, an all-round team. I'm looking at it as a draw, because Chelsea will probably not want to back down in that kind of match. I'm seeing a draw in that match.
You think Cucurella will make his debut?
I'm not sure yet. He did well, but also Chilwell also did well in the same match. So I'm not sure he will probably make his debut in that match.
Okay. Let's move away from there now and go to the Emirates Stadium, and it's about Arsenal against Leicester City. For Arsenal, they won convincingly on match day 1 as well. They'll be taking on Leicester City. Leicester City squandered a 2-goal lead against Brentford to draw on match day 1. So for Leicester City, it's about rebounding, while for Arsenal, it's about continuing that push for the top 4 finish, because the title shot is probably just a dream too far at this point in time. But it's early days and you can't rule anything out. At the Emirates, Arsenal, Leicester City. Arsenal looks like they're in form. They recruited very well over the summer. You think this is another 3 points in the bag?
Yes, it should be, depending on how they're able to manage the game. Because if you look at the game against Crystal Palace had a lot of chances, but they could not convert. And this is a list that has Vardy. You have good striker that has, when he sees very good clinical chances, he will convert them. So I think if they can manage the game well, it should be a 3 point for them.
Okay. Let's see how that pans out for Arsenal against Leicester City. It should be intriguing as well. For Leicester City, they didn't recruit during the summer due to financial challenges. So the momentum has to be with Arsenal at this point in time. Let's move away from there quickly and talk about the defending champions. We won't dwell on it much because it's probably a dead rubber game, if you want to call it that. Manchester City at the Etihad against Bournemouth, the newly promoted Bournemouth side. It's a tale of David and Goliath. Are you expecting an upset? A draw would probably be a massive upset as well.
Yes, it might happen, just like Liverpool and Fulham. We thought Liverpool had it in the bag, and just somehow Fulham was able to get a draw.
Although they were at home. But I mean, Bournemouth is away.
Yes, but looking at Bournemouth's first game, actually having a 2-0, I think, against Aston Villa, I think they'll want to try an upset, but of course, it's Man City. I think they'll have it in the bag, but not with a lot of goals in between.
How many goals do you think Haaland will score?
Probably 2, of
Probably
course.
2, okay. So quick one, just before we delve to United, because that's another big match. Let's look at the matches we've talked about. We're talking about Chelsea Spurs. What's your prediction for that?
I'm thinking a 1-1.
1-1 for Chelsea Spurs. Okay. Arsenal Leicester City.
It's probably a 2-1 or a 3-1 game. I'm seeing Arsenal should.
But there will be goals.
Yeah, of course there will be goals.
So 3-1 or 2-1 for Arsenal, but Arsenal is winning. Manchester City, Bournemouth. Don't worry, just put 0 at the
Probably a 3-0. If 3-0.
You're being modest. You think it will be relatively close?
Yes, I think it will be because Bournemouth should. This is the beginning of the season. It's not probably like the middle of the season where the fate of everybody has really been decided. Okay. So I think they will want to fight for something in that match, but it will be 3-0. I'm thinking 3-0 for them.
Okay, let's see if Olalekan, Octopus Olalekan will be right, but he has predicted that Chelsea Spurs should end in a draw 1-1, both sides scoring goals. That is, we have Arsenal running out winners against Leicester City, 2-1, 3-1, according to his prediction. And then for City, they should be able to win convincingly by 3 goals or more against Bournemouth. We'll have to talk about Manchester United. Yes, they started the season on a very, very disappointing note. Losing at home to Brighton Hove Albion by 2-1. This time around, they're facing another difficult test, and it's away from home at the G-Tech Stadium. That's Brentford's home. Now, for Brentford, we know quite well that this is a very formidable side. And though they lost Christian Eriksen over the summer to Manchester United, they are still a side to reckon with. They also recruited well, it must be said, on the basis of being an average club. So it's Brentford against Manchester United. United can't afford to lose because the more they lose, the more they slip up. I don't even think they're in the top 4 reckoning in terms of being realistic. So it's about European football, top 6. But if they start the season on a disappointing note, in terms of another loss, it spells doom for them. So. Are you expecting what do you expect from the match? Are you expecting Erik ten Hag to ring the changes, probably start with Ronaldo this time around? What exactly are you expecting?
First is get Maguire on the bench. I think that's. I'm speaking for every Man U fan. I think every Man U fan will want that. Okay. Every Man U fan.
So who comes in this place? Varane was on the bench.
Yes,
as
well. It's. I don't know. I would say probably absurd for Varane to be on the bench and Maguire
fitness
to be.
Issues?
Probably, but I doubt it. Even if he had fitness issues, there are some coaches that will still use him ahead of. I get Maguire may probably be. He's under fire. He's under pressure for now. So I think the best thing as a coach is to put him on the bench where everybody's eyes will probably be taken away from him for at least for some time. You don't get to use him. There is no way he will play well. There is no way for now. So I think benching Maguire, I think that's the best thing. I think reinforcing that midfield. I think it's very important. Having Fred and McTominay, I'm not saying they are not good, but in the top 5 teams, I'm not seeing them start in any of those teams. They will not start in it. So you want to probably enter the top 4. You want to compete for something. I think you need to start getting good midfielders. I think they were able to secure Rabiot. I think with an agreement.
It hasn't been finalized.
It has not been finalized. I think they should get more midfielders because they need that. You're looking at their last game, Fred and McTominay was nothing, and there was nothing Eriksen could do. No matter how good he was, there was nothing he could do.
He was even played as a false nine.
He was played as a false. So those kind of things are not things. I don't know why you have Ronaldo on the bench and play Eriksen.
He said fitness issues.
Okay.
But you don't think playing, McTominay and Fred is about using 2 defensive midfielders while leaving the entire creativity to Bruno Fernandes?
And Bruno Fernandes he's not in form. At least for probably from last season to this season, he's not in form. He just needs to. The coach just needs to probably tell himself that truth. He's not in form for now. Probably that's why I said for me when he came in, I thought he was going to probably reinforce the whole team. I'm thinking of the whole team, and I see just buying 2, 3 players. I'm like these players, a lot of them are average players. You don't get to just picking 2, 3 players and expect a kind of dynamism that you just start winning leagues
and all. But for all of these talks, we can't even if we tend to dwell on United, we'll probably spend 1 hour and won't finish. But it's quite ridiculous that there's some things going on underneath that we do not know about. When I talk about under, I mean behind the scenes. Now there were talks of United making a bid for Anatovic, who is 33, former West Ham player who plays for Bologna in the Italian Serie A. And that move was green-lighted by, the United hierarchy, the board. But when Ten Hag decided to go for Ziyech, according to reports, who is 29, by the way, the hierarchy refused to, approve that move. So you then ask yourself, Hakim Ziyech and Marko Antontovic, I mean, the difference is clear. We know who the better player is, who is younger, and what have you. Why would they approve a deal for a 33-year-old and then refuse for a Ziyech who is 29? I mean, if not for the fans who, rebelled and, slammed them with all of that, the Anatovic move would probably have been sealed by now. So is it just about the players? I know Rashford, Sancho, we can go on and on about the players being in a terrible form and all, but how about the board? Arnold is now there, Richard Arnold, but it hasn't changed. It's almost like a Woodward in another form.
Yes, I think the board has been a major problem for them.
Okay.
I think there was something Mourinho said. Mourinho said out of all of his coaching life, I think Man U has been his best because coaching a Man U team and finishing second
with 1 point. Yes,
it's probably his best. It's a miracle for him because he knows what is happening behind the scenes.
Okay.
I think that's one of the things they have had. The problems of the total management of the team has been a really big problem, and I think it's time for the coach to probably speak out so that it will not be like
it's
he
the
doesn't.
coach problem all the time. Okay. Just as we leave there and delve into Spanish La Liga, what's your prediction for Brentford United?
I'm saying I think it's a draw.
Okay.
Hopefully they will get a draw. If Man U get a draw, probably a 1-1 draw, a 2-2 draw. That's what I think. I'm not saying they're beating because
Brentford.
even if every of their players are good, I'm still not seeing them beating Brentford.
Okay, let's move away from there quickly, even as we hit home stretch on the show and talk about the Spanish La Liga resumes this weekend, and you have defending champions Real Madrid beginning their title defense at Almeria. Quick one, Madrid fresh from winning their 5th Super Cup, Benzema Ballon d'Or. I mean, it has Real Madrid written all over it. Are you expecting any surprises?
No, of course. It's a straight win for Madrid.
Straight win for Madrid. You want to give us a scoreline?
Maybe a 3 or a 4-0.
3-0, 4-0. Oh, they're not even considered.
No.
When was last time Thibaut Courtois even considered? I saw a stat where, the stat reeled that he had saved all 19 shots he's faced in finals, the last 4 finals. Quite ridiculous.
I don't know. I think when he moved to Madrid, I think the first season he had a shaky.
Yes, but afterwards
he just became very, very good. Like there was something that was unlocked in him.
Okay.
I think for now, this is his best form.
Okay, let's see how that is. Still talking about the Spanish La Liga, we have Barcelona, yes, taking on Rayo Vallecano in the season opener, but this is coming amid all of the uncertainties about player registration. Where does this leave them? Quickly, do you even think they'll beat Rayo Vallecano with the squad they have now? Remember, they've not signed, they've not registered your Lewandowski and the rest of them.
I think they should beat. I think Vallecano beat them once last season. I think they should be able to beat them.
Yes.
I think it will not be it will be a close margin game.
Yeah.
But having their players not being able to register, I think it has been a very big problem for them and the team and the way they are planning their games. But I think they should be able to beat them.
Okay, let's see how that pans out. Well, due to time constraint, we have to call it a day here, but you know that the Italian Serie A also resumes this weekend with defending champions AC Milan begin their title defense right there at the San Siro Stadium against Udinese. Thank you so much, Lekon, for your time on the show.
Always a pleasure being here.
It's the time. You want to call that quickly, Milan Udinese?
Of course, Milan 2-0.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us from Monday to Friday. You've made the show what it is. I say it oftentimes, you guys are the MVP of the arena. Without you, there is no show. I'm Samson Olade. Until the show comes your way on Monday, do enjoy the very best of a sporting weekend.